Let me tell you what happened after publishing 100 books in 1 year on Amazon KDP. I'm gonna tell you the good, the bad, and the ugly so you can learn all of the lessons that I got from this without having to go through the same time and spending so much money and going through all the headache. All right, quick backstory first. I had just come to the US as an immigrant. I was just starting out. I remember getting 2 jobs in restaurants, earning minimum wage, and looking desperately to find a way to start a side hustle or to start a business of some sort. And that's when I came across KDP. The first thing I did was get mentorship, and I remember my mentor at the time telling me, Gerald, you have to spend your time making more books. The more books you make, the better you will get. And I thought, wait, that's very reasonable, right? That's exactly what I'm gonna do. He actually proposed to me the following challenge. He told me to publish 10 books as fast as I possibly could. So I took it upon myself to start publishing 10 books a month. That was my goal. My game plan was the following. I'm gonna publish 10 books a month. If on average each book makes me $50 to $100, then I will be making every month $500 to $1,000 additional every single month, and it will be kind of like a snowball effect. And that's exactly what I started doing. And then came the reality check. Well, at the beginning, around 5 to 10% of the books that I would publish would take off, and the numbers would make sense initially. Because the books were made in such a rush, these books actually wouldn't have lasting success. Eventually, they would start getting bad reviews and my books would start dying off. So this project of publishing over 100 books in a year, it started off good. I started publishing and making some good money, but then those books started dying off towards the second half of the year, and I got completely stuck at the same level of income because every time I would publish new books, some older books would start dying off, and it became like a hamster wheel. It was completely stressful. I felt like I had no control over my business. I felt like I was doing a lot but not getting much in return. So I continued searching, I continued asking myself, how can I improve this? And eventually I came up with 4 key elements. So I kept searching, I kept asking myself, how can I improve this, right? Looking at the data and trying to make decisions based on the data. And I found 4 key lessons that I was able to apply into my business that actually started making it work. So lesson number 1, to have success in reality, you will need data-driven keyword research. So when I was taught Amazon KDP, I was told to go into the Amazon search bar and to type in a keyword, right? And if Amazon recommends the keyword, then it must be a good one. And then look at the books and see if you can compete with any of the first 5. And then evaluate the top 5 books that appear and then check out their VSR to see if they're selling. If they're selling, then that means you have potential to go into this market and also do the same. At least that's what I was taught. But after having done this countless of times, I realized something, that at the end of the day, we're still just guessing. We're still just making an educated guess on whether the keyword we're using is actually profitable or not. We're not able to have real numbers like search volume, like keyword sales, like actual keyword attribution to sales. And I know these terms may sound complicated, but they're not. There are tools nowadays like Helium 10. In particular, there's a tool within the Helium 10 suite called Black Box, which is a complete game changer. This is actually the method that I use to find the most profitable keywords in the entire Amazon book marketplace. So here I'm in Black Box and I'm gonna search for a book that has at most 150 reviews, that is making over $1,500 a month, and that uses the keyword for adults. Let's see what happens. So by typing in this criteria, I'm able to get 202 items, currently books that are selling on Amazon, all with 150 reviews or less, making more than $1,500 a month in sales, which is great. And then I'm actually able to sort them by monthly revenue, and I can find the best-selling books from the start, and I already know what the good niches are. So say for instance, if you find something that catches your eye, like this one, it's a farmer's market coloring book for adults, then we can check it out. We can see how many reviews it has. In this case, it has only 4 reviews and it's selling very well. Considering it has only 4 reviews, the book is selling, as you can see here, over 500 units every single month. And if I just do one other click, I can take this to Cerebro and find out what are the exact keywords that are helping this book get sales. So I can see here, for instance, that the main keyword is farmer's market coloring book. It's getting over 35 keyword sales with an over 2,900. So I can see factually that the main keyword, farmer's market coloring book, is actually a great keyword with a good amount of keyword sales, a great search volume, and this book is ranking number 1 for this search term. So I know exactly what's helping sell the book. There's no guessing work. I know for a fact that if I publish a farmer's market coloring book, I can sell. And that will be lesson number 1 for me, to make decisions on your keywords based on real information, based on real data. And if you can't afford Helium 10, at least use Publisher Rocket. But you can't just rely on the Amazon search search bar. It's just not gonna work. And moving on to lesson number 2, which is the importance of reviews. Because I was publishing 10 books every single month, I didn't have time to get reviews for many of them, right? I only got each book to 3 or 5 reviews each. And somehow I thought that was gonna be enough for the books to start getting sales. Some of them did, but that was because I was very lucky. In reality, books that don't have at least 100 reviews do not sell very well. And just put yourself in the buyer's shoes for 1 second. If you're buying something online, you want to take the guesswork out of the equation. You don't want to risk buying something that you then have to return. That's such a waste of time and effort. When I buy things online, especially now that I have a baby, for instance, I'm going to make sure that product that I buy has over 1,000 reviews. And if I'm feeling a little bit risky, maybe I'll go for something that's in the hundreds of reviews. But that's not just me. That's usually the regular everyday buyer. They want a product with a lot of reviews, and you will find that yes, you can sell with 3 or 5 reviews, you can sell with 50 reviews, but your sales will really start taking off after 100 reviews on average. So that's something I wasn't aware of. You know, it's very obvious, but I just didn't realize it. But here's a deeper realization. It's not only the amount of reviews that you have, but your ability to keep getting reviews through time. That means your product has to be good, and inside your book there has to be a call to action to get you more reviews. Because look at the next scenario. Imagine you and your competition both have 100 reviews, but within a year's time, your competition has acquired over 100 more, just organically based on the sales and based on the lead magnets or call to actions inside of the book to get more reviews. Whereas yours has only gotten 20 or 30 more reviews. So now next year, there's a disparity. On one side, you have a book with 200 reviews, which is your competition, and on the other, you have your own book, which only has about 120 or 130 reviews. Guess what? Most of your customers are going to go to your competition. So let me tell you something very important. What actually makes you passive income in Amazon is the amount of reviews you have and the potential of getting reviews in the future that your book holds. This is very easy to fix, and it's not something to worry about, but you have to know it. Otherwise, you'll keep on pumping out book after book after book. But if someone else knows this strategy and publishes their books with the mindset of accumulating reviews over time, they will eventually take you out of your market. And just to hit this point home, let me show you something on Blackbox. So here I am. We're gonna go search for a book with 5 reviews, right? 5 reviews max, making $1,500 a month with the keyword for adults. Let's see if we find anything. All right, so here we have exactly 21 items. So there's only 21 items in the entire Amazon book marketplace that sell over $1,500 a month in sales with less than 5 reviews, only 21 items. Now let me change that filter to 150 reviews. Now here we have 200 items, 200 different possibilities, 200 different niches where we can get into, where if we get into 100 reviews for our books, we have a possibility of making over $1,500 a month in sales. We could do something like maybe a new Aphesia workbook for kids. I don't even know what Aphesia is, but look, this book only has 11 reviews. Or we can do this, or we can publish this new Aphesia workbook for adults. It only has 11 reviews and a good price, and it's selling very well. Over 120 sales in the last 30 days, which is great for only 11 reviews. And like I said earlier, if we just want to make sure, we can just go to Cerebro and then have Cerebro look at it, and we can find the keywords for it to see if we can find the exact keywords that this book is using to get ranked. And here they are. All right, so moving on to lesson number 3. So when I was doing this whole 100 book madness, I had a lot of luck publishing a Would You Rather book while there was still very low competition. Would You Rather jokes were actually very popular back then, and the competition wasn't as high as today, so it was actually a very good keyword to get into. I remember the book that I published was a joke book, and it was making over $1,000 a month. It was doing great initially, but then I saw that the cost of ads kept going up and up and up. The bids were going crazy, and it's because I saw someone in my competition doing this. So let's pretend that this is a Would You Rather book just for the sake of the example. And what this person was doing is that they published their first Would You Rather book, but then they published other Would You Rather books for kids, for teens, for adults, for Christmas, for all these other holidays, and they had a huge list of these kind of books. And the crazy part is that when I looked right beneath their own books, they had a section called Frequently Bought Together where their other books were also listed. So what I noticed that was happening is that my competition was overbidding on ads, selling the first book like crazy, like mad, because he knew that whenever someone bought his first book, they would always buy the next book right after. It was like a complimentary sale. In other words, they used the backlog strategy, which is to create books that will sell complimentary to your first book, and then you're able to increase the lifetime value of each customer. And this was a new concept for me back then, which completely destroyed my book because my competitor's book was making way more sales, getting way more reviews, and his backlog was actually making him money. Whereas me, I was making money only on my book one, only on that standalone. So my margins were very thin if I actually wanted to compete with him. In the end, I lost. And that book today only makes about $50 a month or less. If I would have known then what I know now, I would have created every single would you rather joke book possible. I would have made one for every single day of the year, for every single holiday, for every single age range. I would have had would you rather for kids age 6, age 7, age 8, age 9, for women, for teens, for everything. I would have made series. I would have gone all in on ads because that's exactly what you have to do when you find a really good keyword. Don't let go of it. You're still able to start off in new niches with new pen names, but whenever you find something good, you want to make it last. And that's something I didn't know back then. So now moving on to lesson number 4. And this lesson is to not let go of operations too quickly. What happens in Amazon KDP is that when people get into this business model, they see that it's relatively simple to pump out books. They want to delegate keyword research, cover creation, interior creation, running ads. They want to delegate the entire process because it's sold that way. And while Amazon KDP is great, and it's definitely very easy passive income in comparison to other options out there. I mean, thanks to this business, I haven't worked for anyone in the last 6-7 years. So it is good passive income, but you still have to get inside the operations every now and then. I still recommend going to your listing, checking out your competition once a week, checking out your ads, seeing what new things, what new features appear every now and then in the Amazon KDP platform. Don't let go of your business entirely. And checking out new features that may come now and then in the Amazon KDP platform. Don't let go of your business completely. If I've been able to get good at this, it's because I'm always checking those fine details. And yes, true, sometimes I struggle delegating some of the tasks, but I've never really seen those people that completely delegate their business have success long term. Usually when you completely delegate something, someone else will come in that is very operations focused. They will take your place, build out the review systems, build out the backlog, build out the machinery, and eventually your sales will go to them. So there's still competition. You still have to be mindful that there's other people around you trying to take your spot. And if you're able to do that, then I think you'll have a really long-term business with Amazon KDP. My advice is to focus on data-driven keyword research, finding a keyword with good keyword sales, good search volume, then doing your competitor competition analysis, getting a higher quality book made so that the book itself gets good reviews because it's actually a good book, right? Focus on getting it to 100 reviews. There's methods for that I can share with you in later videos. And once your book takes off, start creating the backlist. That backlist will be the cushion that will allow you to go really heavy on ads so you can outspend your competitors, get all the sales of the niche or the majority of them, and will guarantee that long-term passive income that we're all looking for. So let me know, have you ever been tempted to just publish as many books as you could? And if so, has this video made you change your mind? I want to know in the comments below. Also, just 2 more things. One is that we'll be launching our $2 Amazon KDP Mastermind very soon, which is a community where I want to get together high-level publishers so we can talk about the cutting-edge strategies that are dominating the Amazon KDP space today. I will reveal everything that's worked for me, and in return, I hope to also learn from you. Secondly, I'm opening up spots for my advanced reader team. I'm always launching new books, and as you can see, getting reviews is very important. And I'm willing to share my books and my niches with you and give you advanced reader copies if you would like to get one of them, and give you advanced reader copies. But to do that, just simply click on the form below in the description so you can put in your details, and I'll be sending more information to you once I launch a book. As in all advanced reader copy teams, leaving a review is optional but highly appreciated. I hope you like this video, and if you want to keep learning more about Amazon KDP and growing your self-publishing income, then I invite you to watch this next video.